Good morning, Internet. This is the Old Fat Dad, and welcome back to another beautiful day on the Goober Nation gun range. Today, we are going to look at two different types of ammo from Palmetto State. These are their high-end precision rounds in 5.56. Both of these are 77 grain, so the same weight, but one of them has a Sierra Matchking bullet in it, and the other has Palmetto State's, I think it's their own bullet that they've made in-house. We will be shooting it out of my IWI Tavor X95. It is a rifle that is not known for its great accuracy potential, but I think that it is usually in the same ballpark as other AR-15 style rifles. I've got two main things that I want to look at today when I'm testing out the 77 grain ammo. First is its terminal performance. So how does it compare against each other? So does that Sierra Matchking bullet offer any valuable increases in terminal performance versus the AAC's regular old 77 grainer? And then how does it compare to 55 grain ammo, right? So the 5.56 round is usually chambered in something that's around 55 grains. The 77 grain bullet is much heavier. And that brings me to the second test. The benefits of the 77 grain bullet are supposed to be better, I don't know if accuracy is the right word, but let's say better ballistic performance, especially at longer ranges, because the heavier bullet supposedly isn't affected by wind as much as a 55 grain bullet, and it's supposed to have maybe a better arc, an easier to predict arc than the 55 grain round. So we'll test that out as well. But first, let's blow some stuff up. I've got my ballistic modeling clay. We're gonna stick it out there at 50 yards, and let's see how those two 77 grain bullets compare to each other, and then how does it compare to a 55 grain round. Alrighty, let's go test our terminal performance here. We're gonna start with 55 grain full metal jacket on the left piece of ballistic modeling clay. Now, I have heard that the 77 grainer beats our old 55 grainer in terminal performance, so I'm really curious to see how it does out here at 50 yards. Here we go. Okay. Alrighty, so the 55 grain round is definitely no slouch, just tore open that clay block. Let's see how our Palmetto State round does. Oh, wow. Okay, I saw pieces of the clay block flying into the air on that one. Let's finish off with that Sierra Matchking. Let's see what it does to our clay block at 50 yards. Ooh. Okay, now I'm going to withhold any judgment until I go down there and check them out and take a look at that slow-mo. Those were all 5 to 10 pound blocks, and I think the main takeaway, at least for me, is that any of these rounds will absolutely obliterate anything that size. So, not much difference at 50 yards between these three different rounds, but if I had to choose one that did the most damage, I think it's actually going to be the AAC, the Palmetto State 77 grain bullet that they made over the Matchking, and I mean it's real close with that 55 grainer. The reason I'm saying is that the Matchking was the only one that didn't totally explode the block. If you watch the slow motion again, you can see that there is a very well-defined entry hole that you can still see after it goes all the way through, as opposed to the other two that just totally blew up the blocks. So anyways, all that to say, I went ahead and smushed what was left of those three blocks together We've got one giant 20 to 30 pound block now, and I'm hoping that that can hold together. I'm going to put one round of the Palmetto State, the AAC 77 grain bullet, downrange on our monster block, and let's just see if it holds together enough to kind of get a better idea of what the terminal performance is without totally blowing something up. I also have a 3A vest behind it too, so maybe we'll catch the bullet. We'll see. All right, enough talking. Let's pop that big old block with a 77 grain round. Here we go. Oh, oh man. Still totally ripped it apart. It looks like it might have held together a little bit better, but unfortunately, I just don't think there's enough to show you guys besides the slow-mo, obviously. What I'm taking away from the terminal performance of our 3 rounds today is that at 50 yards, they're all gonna do a ton of damage to whatever they hit. I will say that with that heavier block, that Palmetto State 77 grainer, I mean, it's still did a ton of damage. You can see it from the video. The only thing left on the back side of the block, which it did penetrate all the way through, were just little pieces of copper jacket. I couldn't find any of the lead core, but it definitely hit that block and went all the way through and just ripped it apart. There were pieces of clay block everywhere. So, not a whole lot of conclusive information about which is better, but they all did pretty darn good at 50 yards of the block. That's what we can say. So now we're going to be pushed out all the way to 100 yards. We're going to do some accuracy testing. First up is our 55 grainer. That'll be our control group. We'll see how good of a group we get there, and then we'll put these precision rounds to the test at 100 yards and see what those groups look like. So let's start with that 55 grainer. Now we're going to load up the AAC 77 grain. So this is not the Sierra Matchking. This is just the regular old 77 grain Palmetto State bullet. Let's see how that does. That'll be our middle target. Let's finish up with the old Matchking on the far right target. Well, the accuracy results are very interesting. Unsurprisingly, the worst group out of the 3 of them was our 55 grainer here. It looks like it was at about 2.7 MOA, so just shy of a 3-inch group at 100 yards. The other 2 precision types of ammo from AAC, Palmetto State, didn't do a whole lot better, although I see some interesting trends. Both of them were about 2.5 MOA, 2.5 inches at 100, and they had a very vertical kind of spread to them. So this is our AAC ammo, and then this is the Sierra Matchking AAC ammo. And as you can see, they are lining up very vertical, whereas our 55 grainer was kind of dispersed evenly in more of a circle. There definitely could be some accuracy potential here that I am not quite achieving, but I think we might be held back a little bit by how they're loading this ammo. So what I didn't show you on camera was that I did take some chronograph readings with the old Garmin right here, and I'm going to show you first up how our AAC 77 grain ammo did. And as you can see by those numbers right there, we have an average speed of 2696, which is really close to what they say on the box, 2700. So that is good, but it looks like we had quite a bit of a spread there from 2680 to 2721. So there were a good amount of differences in the velocity from shot to shot. And if we look at our Sierra Matchking, there we go. It looks like our average is 2628. Again, It is very close to our 2700, so good job on estimating your velocities, Palmetto State. But again, from 2601 to 2663, we have a pretty big spread there as well. And just to illustrate that is not a great amount of spread shot to shot, here is our bulk pack 55 grain ammo, and it is a good bit faster, obviously, because it's lighter weight. But the thing to look at there is, again, the spread's about 64, 65 feet per second, which is pretty much the same as what we were getting in the precision ammo. If ammo is precision loaded, I would hope that you would see a much smaller spread shot to shot than with something that's just a bulk pack loaded up as fast as possible on a factory press type of ammo. So kind of a mixed bag with our precision ammo from Palmetto State. The 55 grain bulk pack ammo does have a much bigger spread, not only vertically, but left to right. The windage is going to be, you know, typical of a bulk pack ammo, and we don't see that as much with our two loads from Palmetto State. They are much more lined up vertically, and left to right not so much, which indicates to me that it is more of a precision crafted bullet. It's just that the powder loads don't seem to be loaded much better than what you get in bulk pack ammo. They definitely all destroy clay wonderfully though, so they got that going for them. But I don't know. What do you guys think about the AAC 77 grainer? Let me know what your experience with them has been in the comments. I'm curious to hear. And that's about all I've got for you guys today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.